Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/culturalstew. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Please listen carefully.
Welcome to the Cultural Stew Podcast, coming to you from the Goat Factory Media Entertainment Studios. We are your cultural media recommendation podcast, giving you our take on what we think is worth carving your time out for, and also what we think you can pass on and maybe go cut that lawn instead. Warning, we use adult language, and there may be spoilers ahead. Hello, and welcome to our show. Episode 34 for the week of May 4th, 2019. My name is Ron Herkins Jr., and I am here with Anthony Carter and Valerie Vidmar.
Howdy.
Hiya.
We are all thrilled today. We are so over the top with energy. It's exciting. We've got a fun
Somebody's
docket.
hungry.
What?
I said somebody's hungry.
Yeah, Tony's got a grumble monster in the room with him. So today's docket, we've got an Audible Listen.
We do, which actually fits straight right into our stew.
Then we're going to go into our stew, which is twists, turns, and surprises. We've got a couple media stuff that I think we've all watched here and there. And then jump into our radar and cue. Keep it nice and short and quick and concise so you can listen to us on your ride into work, back from work, while you're doing some chores around the house, or while you're trying to fall asleep, because we can probably put you to sleep pretty easily.
Don't say
That's
that.
not true.
All right. So what do we got in the Audibles?
Okay, so this Audible Listen just happened to coincide with this week's stew. I didn't even try. But it's called The Silent Patient. It came out February 5th. And it's 8 hours, 43 minutes. I'll go there. I zipped through it, actually. I really enjoyed this book. I don't want to give, this one I'm actually not going to give anything too much away. It's just it's like a psychological thriller. You find out about a woman's act of violence against her husband. And the therapist that's obsessed with uncovering her motive. But yeah, I said basically that there are too many yarns of clever, I was trying to be funny, but of the story so that you should unravel it yourself. Get it? But I highly recommend this. It's a debut novel, which is shocking. This by Alex. Not that that's shocking. Everyone has their, my goodness, Harper Lee's was debut. Alex, wait, give me this a shot. Michaelides.
Oh, it sounds Greek.
And I found it, actually the book is coming out too. It's either already out. I can't imagine that this would prelude the book, but definitely pick it up. The Audible is very good, and I didn't see it coming. I was wowed by it, so it was really fun to listen to. So, The Silent Patient on Audible.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I've been continuing my Jack Reacher series. I think I'm on book 5 now. I'm just using my Audible credits every month just to get another Jack Reacher books. And the problem is the last 2 have been really short, so they've gone through really quickly. But it's interesting. That's all I have to say about it right now. Yeah.
So we're going to roll into today's stew.
Yeah, let's roll into today's stew.
Which is a lot of it.
I'm a little distracted here for a second.
That's okay. I didn't do TV shows.
What do we got?
What movies or TV shows, twists and turns shocked you? I went more, I didn't do the shocking. I did like more of like the surprise ending, like, holy crap, I didn't see that coming kind of thing. I guess it's shocking.
I think the one that like kind of really stood out to me, and it's kind of like there's actually two of them. The first one that always comes to mind is Sixth Sense,
Right.
and then
Right.
that's followed closely by The Usual Suspects.
Right.
Sixth Sense, you have the spoiler, shocker alert, him being dead the whole time. And
Which
then
I still didn't get, even when the wedding ring is rolling across the floor. Still didn't get it. It took me a little while.
I just remember how much joy there was in seeing that movie a second time, knowing that he was dead. It was a completely different perspective on the movie because you're like looking at things, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really stupid. I missed this, and this.
Well, you weren't expecting it.
No, you were not even expecting it. And I think that, in film school, and my mom talking about Citizen Kane, the shocking ending, we think that Rosebud, we think is a woman. We think, and how we find out that Rosebud is not a woman.
I wasn't really shocked.
You weren't?
I was not.
Back in the day, they were shocked. It was 1941.
That's not that long ago.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it was always funny to me growing up because you had always heard the Rosebud. I don't know. It became more of a Rosebud joke,
Right?
than anything else. Long before I ever saw Citizen Kane.
Because my mom.
And so when you keep seeing like Rosebud on a sled for like 10 years of your life before you actually see Citizen Kane, you're like, oh, that's not very shocking.
Well, they used to run it like they would go in the back of the movie theater and people would just shout, "It's a sled," at the beginning of the movie, which would piss a lot of people off. My mom said that it would happen all the time. God, that would piss me off. But the movies, I think M. Night. I love how I always just call
Shamalama
him.
Ding Dong.
I always go by their first.
We all do.
His movies.
Do you
Are the
know his
ones
first
that's-
name?
Midnight. No, I'm just kidding.
M. Night.
Mid.
M.
I know, I'm being funny. It's a joke. Sorry.
He was good for a while, M. Night, and then he started getting predictable. Where we started waiting for this shocking ending, and that's when it got annoying.
Yeah, he
for me.
established himself as the guy who's going to put a shocking ending on it. So everybody was trying to figure out the shocking ending before it happened.
Right.
When I went this in college, I saw Seven, and that was shocking. That was to me, that was shocking. And
Really?
then,
It was.
The head in the box?
okay, this is a family story. We're about to watch Seven with Kendra. This was a few years ago. Kendra and all this. My mother walks in at the very beginning and she said, "Oh, is this the Head in the Box movie?" And we were all so pissed off. I like, are you kidding me? Right? I was so mad. So now we always say, "Yeah, Mom, it's the Head in the Box movie." Anyway, but the others, I thought was really
We're
well
almost
done.
going to have a stew just on spoilers.
Right.
The art of spoilers.
The Others was really good with Nicole Kidman. I thought that was really good.
What makes a good twist?
I don't try to
Let's break
figure
this
that
down. We've
crap.
got shocking, we've got twist. What makes a really good?
Well,
I think you want to go ahead. Or?
no, you go ahead.
Okay, so let's look at Usual Suspects. I think for me personally, having all the clues laid out for you, and you're just not picking up on them, and then at the end, it all comes together, and you're like, bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Out of everything that I've ever seen, that is probably my favorite twist at the end of a movie because I got so upset and so mad that I missed all of that. And when he just goes walking down the street and then just changes his gait, and you're like, oh, fuck. So, yeah, that to me, it was just such a good movie.
It was.
There's major types of plot twists. Did you know that?
Did not.
Okay, now there's time period shifts or virtual realities, which is
Yeah,
like
you've
Total
got like
Recalls.
something like Inception, where you've got the like
Timeline or
it's kind of the
Eternals.
time shift. Is he Is he dead? Is he in a dream?
12 Monkeys, like the 13th Floor, Donnie Darko.
You talk about timeline. You've got the Planet of the Apes that you were talking about earlier.
I didn't like that movie.
Me neither.
Which one?
The first one.
I didn't like any of them.
There's been 3 first ones.
Okay, I mean,
so
the original,
which one?
I guess the story
The Charlton Heston?
The Charlton Heston one.
Okay.
I just couldn't get into it.
My sister, Wendy likes those, but I don't know. There's the story told from perspective of an unreliable narrator who basically fabricated most or all of the entire preceding story. So like Brazil, Usual Suspects.
Yeah, because Usual Suspects is told through the eyes of...
Fight Club, American Psycho.
That's a good movie.
Premonition, Shutter Island, which my mom and I watched, and then we watched again right afterward. Like we just basically started it right after again. And then flashbacks, sudden revelation uncovering hidden elements. Like,
Memento did that, didn't it? What did you say?
Yeah, because Memento was told backwards.
Right.
Oh, Scream, I guess. Oh, Swimming Pool, that movie that you guys hadn't seen.
Swimming.
The Machinist.
Oh, that's
really good. The Machinist.
Christian Bale at his method acting best.
97 pounds.
And then there was The Prestige. Citizen Kane, of course. Shock Endings. Which is Dead Calm 7. Oh my gosh. Have you seen The Mist?
No, I haven't had any interest in it.
Yeah, yes.
It was kind of like
the original. You're talking about the original or the...
Oh, the remake. Well, like Stephen King's The Mist.
Oh, because there's the original movie, there's a remake movie, and then there's a series.
I think it was a movie.
He's about to remake the probably.
It was a movie.
The one with Punisher in it. Jane.
Yes.
Jane.
Yes.
Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
That one. I think about that one a lot. I think about that ending a lot. I don't know. It's just, that totally screws me up. Or it's a conspiracy. Like the conspiracy stuff, like...
Life of David Gale.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen that, Ron, have you?
I have not.
You should. Stepford Wives.
I wouldn't see it. No, I would pass.
I think you should see it.
So.
I wouldn't see the Da Vinci Code. That's a conspiracy.
No, it's not.
It's based on a conspiracy.
Really?
What are you talking about?
Define
the Da Vinci Code?
Define conspiracy for me.
Well, the conspiracy in Da Vinci Code is that it's the bloodline is actually the female is the bloodline, and that the church covered that up.
I found it to be a secret, like a big giant secret that no one wanted everyone to know about.
That's a conspiracy.
Yeah, like a conspiracy to shoot the president. The conspiracy
whether it's real or not, it can be considered conspiracy.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Take backs. Okay.
At JFK, that was a conspiracy movie.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, JFK, when you're talking about conspiracies, is probably the biggest conspiracy out there. But,
right.
It's the which level of what we're talking about.
There's the sudden reversal of fortune.
Let me go backwards a little bit. The Life of David Gale, in case people have not watched it, it's kind of obscure. It's with Kevin Spacey and Kate Winslet. It's basically about
and
these...
Laura Dern.
Huh?
Is Laura Dern not... Laura Dern.
She's in it, yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about a man and his anti-death penalty group who are advocating for the penalty to be eradicated, and what lengths they go to prove a point about the inefficiency and the unjust murder of people on death row, or the whole death penalty system. And they do what they need to do to make a point, and the ending is kind of where we get our iconic trailer music from, which is called The Life of David Gale, which you've heard it a lot. We may put up a clip of that, or a link to a clip of that soundbite.
It's actually, every person that I've had watch it liked it.
It's not a bad movie. I just wouldn't go out of my way racing to go see it. If that makes sense. So it's not like I wouldn't tackle people to go see it. I would tackle people to see Endgame. But yeah. So fast forward. Yeah. Glass is another one I had where I broke these down from like green, which means like you guys can't see it, but green means awesome twist, like Ex Machina, Sixth Sense, Usual Suspects. Now You See Me was great twist. Second one, not sure why we needed it. And then I have yellow, which means slow down a little bit. Glass just came out. That ending was okay, but it's kind of like, this is how we wrap up the whole trilogy. I wasn't really excited about that. It worked, but at the same time, I'm like,
oh my gosh. No. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
No. Because I just read something.
Shutter Island, Life of David Gower, still in that yellow category. I can go to red, but I'll wait on that if you want.
I just showed Kendra Old Boy.
And?
Did she was it the octopus? Eating the octopus?
Oh, wait. The original Old Boy or the new one?
The one with Josh Brolin.
Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I can't. I like the original.
It's got that in there.
The original one.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so it was suggested that I watch it. I have no idea. I mean, he just thought, yeah, you should watch Old Boy. This very chipper, my friend.
So it's not funny.
Sorry, I mean, I just would not have expected in a million years that he would have come up with this movie. That
Thanos was
you
with.
should just you should just go watch it. His name's Justin. He was my trainer, Justin Hart, and we talked about movies the entire time. You should watch Old Boy. It's really good. Blah blah blah. I'm like thinking, okay, so I watched it one night. That's when Jason comes away half in, and then was so pissed off at me. So then I showed Kendra. Kendra kept saying toward the end, no. And so I don't know. Because since it's a lot of people haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
It's so screwed up.
Original, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think they did it in the remake because it's a remake of a
I didn't
Japanese
know that.
one.
That was awesome.
Well, in the original one is the eating a live octopus.
So?
People were all upset about it.
No, like
people were irate.
on screen eating it.
Wiggly arms, so
wiggly
alive.
arms as he's eating it. Yeah.
People
Instead of sushi?
It's a cultural thing. Yeah, it's a live. Yeah, cultural.
Okay.
Reference. People were really upset.
That's
I
weird.
watched
That's
the
not-
original.
That's not what the movie's about, people.
The original was better because they hit the sideways video game like fight scene that I still have in my mind every time I think about it. But yeah, I don't. Every time I watch the new one, I'm thinking Thanos and Scarlet Witch or coupling. And
It comes down to the very, very end scene when you realize why the guy has done what he has done to Josh Brolin.
Watch the original, guys. It's better. So, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, and then I was talking the people that have their identity. They're different. Like, you didn't say whether you'd seen The Crying Game or not.
You didn't mention it.
I might have seen it a long time ago.
And Fight Club, Crying Game, that's kind of the same thing. The Others, Secret Window, all that kind of stuff. And Mulholland Drive, right?
So what makes or breaks a good shock twist?
I used to always sit there and it would take so much energy for me to try to figure it out. Now I just let it roll over me and decide, okay, I'm just going to watch the movie and be surprised at the end instead of trying to figure it out. Because it's almost like a competition in the room. Who can figure it out first? I'm sick of it. So I like to watch movies by myself normally, if it's kind of like this, so that I can just be surprised and go, oh shit, did not see that coming. So that's kind of fun. But where you're completely like, whoa, I really didn't see that coming. Like I didn't see like what's his bucket being Kevin Spacey being the guy.
Kaiser
Soze.
Sose.
Thank you. I didn't see.
I think that was my online user handle when I had AOL. I think it was Kaiser Sose 21 or something like that.
I didn't see. What's that one movie? I did get that one though. It's the movie that has the guy that's in Fight Club that's not Brad Pitt.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton and Pretty Boy.
You can do it.
No, the Pretty Boy.
From what?
That doesn't narrow it down.
Pretty Woman and
Richard Gere?
Richard Gere.
And Edward Norton.
Yes.
And what movie was this?
Where he's defending him.
The Client?
No.
I'm not getting any.
Anyway, I think it's those two. Anyway, but that was one of Edward Norton's movies. I feel like it was one of his earlier movies. I did happen to pick that one.
Primal Fear.
Primal Fear. I did figure that one out though. So that was kind of annoying. Oh my gosh.
One that like recently that did like a really bad job of, I think they had way too much exposition leading up to it, and one that looked really good going into it was Bad Times at the El Royale.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that the way they gave the exposition leading up to the final reveals just kind of torched the whole movie and didn't make it a good movie overall, because we're just like, we're just going to rip off the Band-Aids and layers early so you kind of know everything that's going on instead of letting things just sit there and go until the end. So that's probably one of the most recent, like, really bad jobs at being a thriller.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Julie?
Huh? It's on that. It's on the scale. Because every time I get on, because I really liked the book, Gone Girl. The book I enjoyed. Then the movie came out and it was the biggest piece of shit I have seen in a long time.
You didn't like it, eh?
I hated it. Sorry, I really did. I don't normally say that word, but that pissed me off. I just thought it was horribly done. I don't know. Yeah, and every time it's on, it makes me mad. Because I felt like, probably because it was I thought the book was good. And I just thought, this is ridiculous. I thought it was horribly done, but whatever. But, we all have. Did you guys see it?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Did you mind it? Did you think it was done well?
It could have been better. It could have been worse. I was kind of like, it's over. It's been.
And then, Now You See Me. You have that down.
I have it down at my green level, yeah. That was a good twist, I think. For me, with seeing that, I wasn't really expecting that at all.
Is that DiCaprio?
No, that's Ruffalo. That is Eisenberg. That is
Amy Adams.
Adams and Harrelson.
Yeah. It's
and
the
Morgan
Magician
Freeman
one.
and Kane.
Oh, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Now You See Me?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I don't know.
You should see it.
Yeah, they even already have a sequel.
I don't know
Came
why.
out last year.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't realize that The Prestige was a big...
The Prestige and another film came out at the same time, and I had to decide which one I wanted to see.
I didn't understand The Prestige was like a big,
Yeah, the
yes,
Illusionist was
those...
I think The
Norton.
Illusionist had Norton in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prestige, it was Jackman and Bale.
That was such a big... I don't know, oh my gosh, didn't see that.
I don't know, I thought it was good.
It was decent.
I don't know, that's not one, I guess when I think of it, I always think of the ones you mentioned.
So I have...
the big twist in that was, they had a twin.
Yeah.
It was odd.
And then what was it, Jackman was trying to duplicate himself.
We saw the twin.
No.
At the end.
It was all revealed at the end. Up until that point.
We didn't know.
There were the allusions to it, and they go back, and that was one of those ones where they show the points in the story where like, this is where the twin was going back and forth.
I see.
And then you had the little girl with the cage with a bird, and she asked where the other one.
Oh, yeah.
And that
I
revealed
keep
the whole
interrupting
trick.
you, though.
No worries. I have my red zone now. So I have a thing called cinematic stupidity. My brother and I, James, coined this due to Empire Strikes Back. It started with because Junior mentioned that he used to watch that over and over again, and he used to make me sit there and watch it with him over and over again. The biggest frame in our house to date has been when we find out that Luke and Leia are brother and sister, and she says, "Oh, I think I've always known," and we're like, so that gave me a pause and a scream, and we're like, that's a twist that in the film I'm like, that's all George Lucas, so I blame him because he's a horrible writer sometimes. But stuff like that, you're like, why would you even let that slip out of your mouth? Just say, oh, or, yeah. So I can't. It makes me mad. My other one, I only have two read. The Village. I think if M. Night wasn't the master of shocking, surprising endings, and I got into this movie without having that back history of him, I would have been a little bit more impressed, or like, oh, okay. But the fact that we had this whole history of him doing shock twists, we're in a modern world, secluding ourselves in the forest, and we're scaring our people into not leaving thing, that felt lame to me, and felt like it was just slammed together last minute. And
I have read, like, I feel like Rosemary's Baby. How is that not? I don't know. The Rosemary's Baby one is, no kidding. I don't know. It was not shocking to me. You know what was shocking was? The one I think of is have you seen The Twilight Zone, where they're talking about the ugly baby? The entire movie. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This baby is so horrific looking, and we never see the baby.
And then we see it.
And then we see
a beautiful baby.
A beautiful baby, and then all of the doctors and the nurses are ugly. They're all like aliens and stuff. That's a good one. Sorry, I just want to throw that. But that whole Rosemary's Baby, and then Psycho, which I watched at a very disturbing young age. I mean, I'm not sure. I probably should have been watching it, but I didn't get that one. But I was little. But did you get Psycho?
I'm trying to remember when I first watched it. I probably didn't watch that until I was
until you knew, maybe.
No, I might have. It might have been one of those culture things that I knew that he was the mother. That's the problem with watching some of the older movies.
Yeah.
Is that by the time you
Simpsons
get around to watch them, you've already know what the twist is. And it's not because of a spoiler thing. It's more just because it's become part of culture.
I blame The Simpsons. Spoiled a lot of movies. No, it did. They had a lot of references to things.
Yeah, but I don't even think it was Simpsons. I think it was just
out there,
a cultural thing, that we knew that like he was the psycho that dressed up as the mother.
Speaking of Psycho, American Psycho.
Good movie. I'm still not, I mean, the book is great, but I'm not sure if it works, but.
I mean, I guess it works. We just realized that it was in his head the entire time.
I guess. This is my favorite black comedy. I just find the whole thing hilariously. I laugh out loud because they're disturbing. I know it's so funny. It's ridiculous.
Isn't that Jacob's Ladder too?
Thing.
In Brazil? These are all things that are just...
Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder. Oh my God. I had to watch a lot of these for film school, and I just... they were really hard for me to watch. Brazil was really, really hard.
So what would be your favorite twist in a movie?
The one I didn't see coming. Probably because I was the exact right age for it. Everything was probably, and I can't remember. All I see is, I see dead people. That's what I call it.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. I never remember it's called Sixth Sense. That movie probably was the one where I just went, yeah. That was.
I think that got a lot of people. I mean, that
got me.
That was one of the first movies I saw that was. I think I saw it a month before it came out in theaters and in a preview event, and it was a packed house, so it was a preview event.
A month before, early. You had to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but it was like the raw reaction of everybody in the theater with that. We're like, you hear audible gasps and like, holy, people swearing at themselves because nobody caught it. There might have been like one person in that whole theater that like put it together, but that person would have been a rare case.
I certainly did not.
There was a lot of people who afterwards said,
"Oh yeah, I knew. I can't stand those people."
No, just be honest, you didn't.
You didn't see it. I saw that coming the entire time.
And then, like, when I saw it the second time was when it came out in the theater, and it was like I'm giggling the whole time because like everything that's happening, but everybody around you doesn't know a thing, and you're just sitting there. I can't say anything. I can't say anything. But you're
but see, this is going to be fun stuff because my girls, when they watch it, I mean, it's going to be a long time before Zoe sees it because
it's hard to control yourself on some things like that because you're like,
it's like my mom and Head in the Box
like
movie.
Tense. You're like,
God, you've always.
That's a good drop though. Is this the one about the head in the box?
I just seriously, God.
Well, movie night's open for 2 hours.
Okay,
what else are we gonna watch?
We're going to be watching something else. So we watched Fight Club instead because I knew she hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, that's not a bad alternative. What about you, Anthony?
Chinatown.
Chinatown?
All I'm going to say is Chinatown.
You're not going to spoil it?
No.
Don't, because you know what?
No. I won't do that to people. You have to
I
watch
haven't seen it.
Wow, my eye just twitched.
I know.
It was an audible twitch. It almost hit the microphone. It was so large.
You're a film student. You've never seen Chinatown?
That's right. There's actually a lot of movies that I haven't seen that you'd be shocked at and disgusted by.
Not disgusted. Disgusted is for puke. But
all right. Movie challenge. Challenge for Valerie.
Chinatown.
It's Chinatown. Valerie, you get to give Tony his.
But I don't know what he hasn't seen.
Throw something out there.
A movie he hasn't seen or one that has the ending that he doesn't know.
Both of you can think of it.
Okay. I mean, geesh. Let's think. Do you have one? Okay, you can give Ron his, Tony, if you'd like. Because you've either.
We've got 2 weeks to watch these movies. So.
Let me think about this here. You and I have similar. Okay, let me think about that. Does it matter what genre it is?
No.
Okay.
As long as you're not making me watch Pride and Prejudice.
Come on.
Hey, if I have to watch, just.
I'm sorry, but Chinatown is a little bit shorter than Pride and Prejudice.
Atonement.
You haven't seen Atonement? Come on.
Keira Knightley.
Hi, sounds familiar.
Keira Knightley and...
That was too easy.
McAvoy.
That was too
McAvoy.
easy. This is
Yeah.
You give me somebody who's read a lot of stuff. This is bullshit.
I'm vaguely familiar that once you said McAvoy, because I remember the two of them in something together.
This is crap.
Well, you have. Let me know. I'll do something else during the week, but yeah. So Atonement for Ron.
But we can't. We have to promise that we're not going to Wikipedia like my husband and sit there and
not
just
your husband.
and
Wikipedia's
wiki. Oh my God! While we're watching the movie, he will sit there and because I don't like surprises. I don't like surprises.
Right during the movie, he couldn't.
During the movie,
slam his hand.
Kendra will too.
Her and I are going to talk.
When I break
Really
out
pissed.
Wikipedia is only when it's in historical stuff because I want to know like historical timelines where like things got screwed up and
Do
were.
it at the end.
No.
It depends on what it is. There's like certain things that are like instantly pop into my mind like
God, that
timeline doesn't match up with what I'm thinking.
Right.
Whatever. All right.
Have you seen Dunkirk? Well, of course you have.
Dunkirk, of course.
What?
You said Dunkirk or Dumbo?
No, I was Dumbo. Neither one, and I know you've seen this one.
What's the shocking twist in Dumbo?
I was going to say
Dumbo was not.
Okay, swimming pool. No, you've read
Seen
it.
That, and I've read it.
Damn.
The twist in Dumbo is that
This
Dumbo
is
was
bullshit.
an elephant all along. He was an alien baby.
That one's dumb. The Game.
Yes, seen it.
Okay.
It's going to take you a while, so.
This is not fun. This is not fun.
Keep thinking about it. And by the
I
time
will
we end
do
the
it.
show, think of something.
By the end of the show,
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
we don't.
Anything more to add to the stew?
I don't actually. I think that we wrapped up pretty well. I mean,
The Machinist?
seen it several times. So,
So so if you're looking for some fun stuff to watch, you've probably already watched them. Go see Sixth Sense,
Atonement,
Usual Suspects.
Chinatown.
I'm surprised you haven't seen Atonement. I bet you've seen it and you don't realize it.
When he said James McAvoy, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but that's got to be at least 10 years old.
Mm-hmm. You can.
I was going to say, it's got to be probably right around Wanted when McAvoy first came onto the scene.
Yes, it was. Because
2007, 2008.
Something like that, yeah. It was up for Oscars for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Ex Machina is
Good movie.
definitely one I would recommend if you're looking for something in this genre series to look at. We've got
I know.
Valerie.
I don't
Valerie's
think that there's one that he hasn't seen.
No, there is. There's got to be something out there.
Or read.
Red?
Like seen or read.
Or Red. Okay.
Oh,
I was going to say Red is a
movie that was.
action thriller.
Oh. Eh.
2007. Nailed it. I said 2007, 2008.
You've seen it?
Pretty sure I have.
Okay. I'll find something. Don't worry. I'm going to put myself under pressure right now.
I don't think that this is something we should have discussed earlier because I don't think people want to listen just try to figure out what the other one hasn't seen. So maybe it'll be a surprise and shocking twist when we come up with the movie.
Or it'll be a surprise and shocking twist that none of us watch it anyways. Wait, that wouldn't be a surprise, would it? All right. Well, I think we've done enough shocking.
Vanishing?
Seen it.
All right.
You wouldn't say you've
so
seen
here's
something.
the challenge for our listeners.
Our view.
Figure out something that Anthony has not seen or read.
Yeah, but he could come up. He could say
What?
he has when he hasn't.
No, really, I can't do that. Because if I don't know a movie, then I don't know a movie.
But you could have read it.
That's reading and seeing are kind of the same thing with me. They're not the same, but pretty much reading it means I can see it in my head. So the only thing about it is that
Vertigo?
yes,
Should I even list any Alfred Hitchcock movies?
Jaws 3.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's move on to what's on your radar and what's in your queue. Tony.
Let's see here. I'm going to try to watch Private Lives with Paul Giamatti again. I started it, but I had to turn it off because my kids were running around and distracting me. I also have on here Endgame because I need to see it soon. So my brother can leave me alone. And I'm going to watch Lucifer because my wife's been watching that. And it was dropped by Fox and Netflix picked it up.
I was going to say it's on Netflix, right?
And there's a lot of Buffy alumni in the show. So I will be watching that for sure. Oh, and I'll be finishing Remy because I have 5 more episodes left. There's only 10 episodes.
You'll be what?
Finishing Remy. Remy, sorry.
That came out wrong to me.
Wow. I'm not sure how that happened.
Let's see. What's on my radar? I think the only thing on the radar is extremely vile and shockingly evil, since I can't ever say that right.
Should be a good time.
I'm going to say that too. I'm stealing.
Yeah, because there's like a 2-week moratorium on any good movies coming in the theater while Avengers just kind of wreaks havoc with the theaters. It was kind of funny when I looked at the Cinemark listing of theater showtimes.
Did he crash?
And it was 9:30, 9:40, 10 o'clock, 10:40. And it was just all the way up until 11:40 at night like that.
Stay.
Yes.
So that's kind of on my radar. Going to go use the time over the next couple weeks to finish up and catch up on some of my TV shows. Knock off Hannah, finish up Bosch, and there was something else that I just completely lost. But I know there's something else coming up on Netflix that is... I didn't mention it in our previous show, and I can't remember it now, but I know there's something in May coming up on Netflix that was on my radar. That was a big one that kind of got lost off.
Did you know that Klinger was not actually a woman?
See again?
Just a joke.
Sorry,
In MASH,
my brain's
I was
not here.
trying to be a jerk. Anyway, go ahead.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this one. This is not fair. Yeah. You give me the hardest one. Why don't you take it? You're the.
I was just letting you pay the favor back. He asked you to watch Chinatown, and I was just giving you a chance to.
But there's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Believe it or not.
We'll work on that.
Hmm?
We'll work on that.
You're going to make 30 hours in a day?
I mean, how much older am I than he is?
How old are you?
44.
I'm 33. I'll be 34 in August.
So, 11 years.
I'm telling you, we spent a lot of time in my house growing up watching movies with my dad. So just sat there watching them.
That's what I did too.
Crazy. So.
But I don't know.
My memory just too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Valor, what's on your radar and queue?
Probably the same one that's on yours. And I've decided that I cannot. No, the Ted Bundy thing. I can't. And I'm going to continue on with my ABC murders.
That one I'm going to put on there if I can wipe off a bunch of stuff.
If I can stomach. Some of it, I can't stomach. Hannah, there was a couple things in there.
Did you ever watch any of Frankenstein Chronicles or no?
No.
Okay.
I tried to watch Penny Dreadful, and I couldn't do that one either.
Oh, okay.
My stomach is a little. I don't know what the deal is. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna go for those. I can't. I have in the past been a little bit too. I'm gonna watch this and this and this and this. No, I have to be more realistic with my time.
Well, it's hard. And it's hard when you're talking about a series
from
because
like 8:30 to 9 until I fall asleep at the end of the day. Is about that's it, and that's all I have.
It's a big difference with like talking about movies versus series, though. Too, series are a lot more involving than a movie is. A movie, your investment is just like you mean one and done. So
true. Yeah,
my problem is I just don't have a backlog of movies, so now everything's just tapping into all the series that are just like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
No, but there's some movies that are coming out. I wanted to see a movie that was coming out soon. Maybe I can.
It's not the Queen's Corgis, are you? You're talking about?
The
Queen's
what?
Corgi, the Queen's Corgis, the animated film I have to take Marnie to go see. It's about the Queen's Corgis, and they're animated. It's going to spike the sales in Corgis for a while, which is unfortunate. So,
okay.
I have a Corgi at home.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's an animated film from Pixar coming out, or DreamWorks or something, about Corgis and the Queen's Corgis and how they all get along and that fun stuff. Which, side note, the Queen's not breeding anymore, Corgis. She's done. So
I almost thought you were going to stop with the Queen's not breeding anymore.
I thought you said the Queen's not breeding corgis.
So, but yeah, she doesn't want them to outlive her, so she's, yeah.
Okay. Really? That's why?
Yeah.
That's...
She's getting ready to retire, so, you know.
But so?
Well, little baby corgis are hyper and high maintenance. So, yeah. You
Are there...
I have one. She's hyper. She's
How
7.
much does she actually
She doesn't
care for them?
She doesn't.
Yeah. They're photo opportunity at this point.
Right.
Okay. We're just going to have to wait.
I'll message you. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm not worried.
Now, we're putting this onto the community. Valerie's stumped. So the community come up with something that Tony hasn't
Like a
watched.
movie or something that has a surprise ending?
Let's go with the surprise ending first. I'm pretty sure there's something out there that he hasn't watched.
Okay.
Sweeney Todd. Just kidding. Grace made me watch that when we got married. So you have to watch this because it's my favorite musical. I'm like, okay.
That's what Kendra watches to make herself feel better when she's sick.
Grace watches Clue.
Oh my God. I love Clue.
Clue's a good movie.
Anyway, are we done?
On that note, let's wrap up the show.
Okay.
So you can find us culturalstew.net, culturalstewnet on Twitter, Culture Stew on Facebook. You can find all of our personal social media stuff over on our site on our individual pages. Yeah, so if you're out there listening, if you are, you're truly out there listening,
I think they are.
say hi. Let us know you're out there.
They can't. Even if they said hi right now, we wouldn't hear them.
No. Everybody's yelling at their radios. Hi, I said hi. Well, we say hi back.
We sound a little right now.
Yeah, this has been an interesting.
The week is tired us out. We all need to go home and go to bed.
But we thank you as always for listening, tuning in, putting us on your podcast, and just being there. Just give us a little feedback. Let us know what you are interested in hearing.
I have a film for you.
Collaborate and listen.
The One I Love, Ron. There you go.
The One I Love?
Yes.
Who's in it?
Duplass brothers.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Still.
Valerie's still.
I'm still at a loss.
All right. Later.
All right.
Ciao.
The intro and break music is Please Listen Carefully by Jahzzar, available through the Creative Commons license from Free Music Archive. Please see our show notes for details on what the outgoing song is and who it is by. And also, as always, if you have a piece of music that you'd like us to play or consider playing, please contact us today. Like what you've heard? Want to continue to hear more? Please consider Patreon. What is Patreon, you ask? Patreon is a content creator support site, a way for people to support the things they love and allow creators to continue creating the content that they love. Please consider heading over to patreon.com/gfmedia and becoming a Patreon supporter today.